This is Tea and Talk, a self-development podcast. A podcast dedicated to empowering, uplifting, inspiring, and celebrating women. I'm Tafia Stokes, your host, as well as women's health advocate, blogger, and author of Grow Through It. Everyone has a story, and not everyone's story will start or end the same, but you can't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes it may take a few pages, chapters, or even a series to get you to the climax. You will get there if you continue to walk in the path you were destined to walk and keep turning those pages. It's time for you to end that chapter of your life that is holding you back, causing stagnation, self-doubt, self-hate, and negative self-talk. All you have to do is turn the page, sis, and start to write a new chapter. They say a woman is like a cup of tea. You can't tell her strength until you put her in hot water. Well, the water is hot, sis, so let's see your strength. Grab your tea and get comfortable and join me as I get into it on this episode of Tea and Talk.
We become so comfortable in things we do daily, whether our daily routine at home, our current position at our jobs, our unhealthy eating habits, our toxic relationships, or our constant battle with our own emotions. Being comfortable in these situations becomes, second nature. And because of the ease and comfortability, we have difficulty in wanting to change. When we go through the motions, just to go through the motions, we are then on autopilot. Many may not even realize they're on autopilot because it's just their routine they've become accustomed to. Without change from our routines, we become stagnant in our journeys in life. We begin to lack motivation to get us to that next level where we want to be because we are comfortable where we currently are. We aren't growing by doing the same thing day in and day out. Think about going to work, for instance. You take the same route day in and day out and begin to tune out the trip. And then you realize you just end up at work. You don't remember getting on the highway or even getting off the exit. All you remember is that you got to work and you're now in the parking lot. If you are constantly doing the same things without any bit of change, are you also tuning out pieces of your life like you tune out the drive to work? Are you missing important pieces of your life because you just focus on getting there, but not the overall journey? Do you realize that some people are so miserable because they are comfortable? Think about that for a second. Scared to do anything out of their comfort zone, but regretting it all the same. They know they aren't growing, but fear is what stands between them and growth. The decision to be comfortable and stagnant versus being uncomfortable and growing. Right there before their eyes, but because they are in a comfort zone, that is safe for them. That is where they stay. We have to begin to embrace the feeling of discomfort and push past our limits to become even stronger and more resilient in our lives. Allow yourself to revert back to the kid in you. Be curious and yearn for the knowledge. Feed yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Just because you are in your comfort zone doesn't mean that pieces of you aren't starving for more. Everything worth anything has some level of discomfort or difficulty. Comfort is a killer of creativity and goals. We are so hardwired to go to what we know, and our body and mind love the routine because it makes things easier and requires less thinking. If you begin to feel stagnant, that should be an indicator for you to evaluate the situation even further. Is there room for growth, whether that be at work or at home? Are your skills being used at your job in your scope? Is it time for you to look into finding a company that uses your skills, or is it time for you to jump and start that business? Is there something in your daily routine that you can change? Or is there something that can be replaced with something more productive and fulfilling? Maybe it's getting a little less sleep and waking up earlier to exercise, meditate, or read. You have to push yourself to continue your self-growth journey. But you have to find the pieces in your life that require the growth, and then replace the stagnant pieces with those that will feed you and build you up. By staying in a state of contentment, we then are taken away from the full human experience. In order to push, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I was super uncomfortable in opening up about my struggle with infertility. None of my family, to my knowledge, have ever had any issues with fertility. It wasn't something that was talked about in any way, shape, or form. I was embarrassed. A fairly healthy 20-something-year-old with the hurdle of pregnancy. I went through multiple interventions when finally IVF is what finally worked for me. I would see people talk about it on social media and that they were struggling mentally and physically. Knowing that other people had gone through the same thing is what helped me to lower my walls. 5 years later, I ripped the tape off my mouth and broke my silence. Grow Through It by Tafia Stokes. Yup, I sure did. Plug my book. Discusses my hurdles and my struggles with fertility, but then on a brighter note, how I was able to overcome those struggles and hurdles. I became comfortable being uncomfortable because I knew my story would help someone just like me, and I realized it needed to be told. The reasons we become so trapped in being comfortable. Well, it becomes predictable. We know what is going to happen, when it's going to happen, and we have control over it. That's one of our biggest problems, not being able to control things. So the same routine and being comfortable, we know we have control over that. Doing the same thing and being comfortable becomes convenient for us. It also is easy for us to continue to do the same things because we know exactly what we're doing, and it is safe. So what do we do to get uncomfortable or to take those first steps in growing and starting the process of being uncomfortable, but being comfortable being uncomfortable? I know, tongue twister, but you get what I'm saying. Well, acknowledge when you begin to feel discomfort and take time to figure out why those feelings exist. Feel those feelings and be present with them, but do not allow them to control your vision and path. Do something you wouldn't normally do. Even by starting small, it's a small step in the right direction. Try a new restaurant or cook a new recipe. Watch a film you wouldn't normally watch, like a foreign film or a documentary. Little changes lead to big changes. Wake up earlier or go to bed sooner. Tap into your talent. You have been working to perfect it, but haven't given it a chance or put it to use. Take action. Research others you look up to who may be doing something similar to what you want to do. Take notes on their routines. Take tips from those people. Follow them and reach out to them. Surround yourself with similar people who have similar goals. They will encourage you and push you closer to your goal and out of your comfort zone. Always remember your why, the reason you are taking the step to push yourself out of your comfort zone in the first place. When you get discouraged, continue to revert back to the why. Break a habit you have been trying to break, but give it your all this time, and see how much of a difference you feel once the habit is broken. Change your environment, whether that be your office space, living room, or taking a mini vacation to see new places, people, and things. Stop thinking of the reasons it won't work or ways it can be messed up or ruined, and think of all the good that can come from it. How many things were once uncomfortable for you that now come into second nature? And you do it with ease, right? But you were able to overcome that feeling of discomfort and maybe even fear, and it helped you to propel even more and further into your life. Your personal growth depends on new challenges, new activities, new habits, new opportunities, and new goals. Change is happening in every aspect of the world, and it isn't going to slow down or stop. Step into the change and give it your all. Knowledge is crucial. We have to continue to reach beyond what we see, research what we don't know, and read beyond what we want to know more about. Let your comfort zone be a place of retreat where you can rest until it is time to start pushing again. Stretching yourself helps you to gain confidence in many areas of your life. So keep looking for new ways to stretch, bend, and move. Remember, if you do what you have always done, you will get what you will have always gotten.
Be sure to give me a rating and your feedback at the end of this episode. I would love to hear from you. Be sure to click the links in the description to learn more about how you can be part of the Tea Party VIP group and get more of Tea and Talk plus additional offers, including a free copy of Grow Through It. To follow me on IG, click the link in the description. I'm so excited to talk to you all next week, so keep tuning in, and until next time, love and good vibes.